post out the other week. I got so much backlash, but I told him I'm built to be persecuted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I talked about Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm. Doing all that devil worship.
Yeah, and I told the people, I said, I have a question. I said, saints of God of the Most High. I said, do y'all do know that Jay-Z, or B, or whatever they call her, and Jay are whole devil worshippers and part of the Illuminati?
They ain't even playing games now.
You know, and
They're just out on Front Street now.
I saying y'all listen to this stuff and put it in your spirits, and it goes back to a song that I wrote years ago called "Make Up Your Mind."
Come on, man.
It's the verse that says, "Remember the day you fell down on your knees and said, 'Jesus, here's my all.' And every time he tries to reach you, you won't even take his call. You said, 'Oh Lord, I'll forever worship
Jesus on
you.'"
hold?
Man, come on, Doc.
Come
We
on.
put him on hold every day.
Yeah.
You said, "Oh Lord, I'll forever worship you and give you all the praise." But how long has it been since you entered in? Can you even count the days?
Wow.
Now, day by day, you're slowly changing. And this is the part. Just like day turns into night. And I could have sworn I heard you say the other day that a little sin's all right.
Oh! Just a pinky toe. Just let me put my pinky toe in.
Man.
My pinky toe.
See,
But that ain't no little sin when you start Jay-Z and Beyonce.
well, but
that ain't
no, but see, it
that ain't no little
leads,
sin.
it leads to.
Jehovah, the man called
You
himself
know,
Jehovah.
Right, that's what I said.
Hova for sure.
Right, Hova. But
Right.
I say, y'all done lost y'all minds. I
Smoking
say.
that weed. He's smoking that
But you know
weed.
what? Let me say this, Rick. I believe that Jay-Z.
What's Snoop Doggy Dogg putting the weed he sell? Is Snoop Doggy Dogg sell weed? He got to be a distributor too. Do he sell
You
weed?
probably have a few.
Got a farm or something? Cause I'm sure Jay-Z and Beyonce get it straight from the farm. You got to. You got to be high to call yourself Jehovah.
Man.
You got to. Ain't nowhere in the
Listen.
world you can say that unless you done smoked a serious blunt laced with something too. Gotta be.
Well, my thought process is this: when you turn yourself wholly into, he said, what Lucifer said, I'll put my throne above the Most High.
You know what I'm saying?
So
I know it's been devil worship since the beginning of time and all that. I realize that. But black folks, we come from slavery, man. All right? The only reason we got any sanity at all, after all of that debauchery, all that raping and robbing and pillaging and getting our head peeled back to the white meat, the torture, the only reason we got any sense at all, because we was able to call on Jesus. He the one that gave us He the one that gave us the enduring power to be able to take all this stuff, you know, and to be able to just be, and not to want to kill nobody too, and not to want to get no revenge and blow nobody's brains out and everything and stuff. We some humble people, man. You dig? We ain't no punks. We some humble people.
but we've been conditioned to want to be accepted by.
But where did devil worship come from, Rick? We ain't
Well,
never got down.
but
That ain't our
the
thing.
thing is-
That ain't our thing, man. We ain't got the Jehovah spirit. Even
the love
Talk
of
to me.
money is. See, Satan took up Jesus to the highest mountain and told him, if you worship me and bow down to me, I'll give you the kingdom.
you tempted him, yeah.
But
had
Jesus
a right.
was like, Negro, the kingdoms already belong to me.
Come on, man.
You know, he said the
You
greatest
gonna give me
kingdom.
what I already got.
Yeah, right. You gonna try to, you know,
That's like you going in my pocket.
right.
You did. Taking $5 out of my pocket.
Like these
and
Indians
then tell me you
just
want to
did.
loan it to me.
Like these Indians just did in my bank account.
Yeah, the people
To
that-
you know.
Don't tell everybody it's an international show. That's all right. But expose the devil. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all right. You know, I ain't ashamed. But my former pastor's dad used to say, Ray, you went through something, but what did you learn from it?
Hey, and let everybody know you ain't talking about the Native Americans. We talking about folks from India for real.
All right. And,
Thieves faking like they loan people money. I had one of the guys. He did that on me. He did it on LinkedIn. So he sent me a message. He said, "I give you 5% loan. I give you 5% loan. No, we only charge 5% private money." I said, "Okay." So I told him, "I tell everybody, social proof, bro. Give me a client. You gotta have at least one client you can help. You know, one client you can help. Don't be asking me to do nothing. You ain't got no customers.
Right.
I'm gonna be with your first customer? I don't think so. All right. This is like somebody talking about I'm an open heart surgeon. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go, man. I mean, how many people you helped lately? None. You the first one.
Right.
Get on the table.
Right.
He like, hell no.
Listen here, Daniel Hill Williams.
Daniel Hell no, William.
Right, exactly.
Hell no. You about to cut on me. I'm your first person. You better go get a cadaver. Something, boy.
Right.
Get something up under your belt. So this cat. So this cat right, he like, I give you 5% loan. So
They told me.
So I told my friends, I was like, hey, I got a guy might be able to get, some private money. I said, but I'm finna vet the dude. I said, well, so give me a client you got. The clients are very private. I said, oh man, I'm from the south side of Chicago. Well, we've been tricking folks on a bus since I was 13. All right? Okay, Jesus done saved me. Now what, I'm gonna stop tricking folks and then turn it to a trick? You got to be. I ain't finna G for that player. I'm like, listen, you got one client anywhere. I don't. So I told a couple of my friends, so they got this information. So then they call. This is the problem with people. I'm telling you, right? This is a serious problem. Now, me and you, we didn't have no coaching on this, so that's one thing for you. But when I coach somebody on something, and then I'm amazed at people. When you coach a person and they won't do what you said, then they always do what you didn't say. I don't think people understand it. I'm like, look, if you're not doing what a person tell you to do, don't you know that you are doing what they didn't tell you to do? It ain't no neutrality when it come down to coaching. That's why you can't be trying to lead your leader. The coach be coaching you and be telling you what to do. And in the back of your mind, you think, I got a better way. All right? So you don't confide in the coach, and you got a coach. It don't make no sense. And then you come tell your coach what? After the fact. So what they do? My clients, a couple of them, they said, hey Rick, thank you so much for hooking me up with old boy. I'm like, old boy who? The Indian guy. I said, what you mean hooking you up? Yeah, I put in that application fee. I'm like, what? Yeah, that application fee you told me to send over there. I said, you talking about the loan dude? Yeah. I said, I didn't tell you getting no loan from that dude. I told you I'm for the vet him. And here you go, superseding your coach and just doing what you want to do ahead of time. Why? Thirsty.
Yep, desperate.
Just thirsty. Just thirsty. The Sahara. That's how. Try the Sahara.
Show me desperation, I'll show you a sucker.
How many licks it take to get a sexual incentive at this point?
Let's find out. One. 2, 3. 3.
Used to take 3. Now I only take 1.
Right.
So, but it's a lesson to learn, but the major lesson is in life is that don't make mistakes that you can get coached out of. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
And that's why people got coaches. You coach football, what, all these years?
37.
37 years. And when you coach football, what's the difference between a dude being a linebacker and like being on a defensive guy on the front line? Who's supposed to be making most of the tackles?
Well, the linebacker, the defensive lineman sets it up.
Come on.
So the linebacker can be seen, but he knows that without them, his job is done. He can't fulfill his purpose.
Yeah, he has stuff. He's
a linebacker.
Line, right? He backs up the line.
Right.
That's cold-blooded. Linebacker. Oh man, that's cold-blooded, man. Even Gorgeous George enjoying that. Gorgeous George love football. You talking this language, never. A linebacker. So, because I was reading this book called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, and Chris Voss was talking about how the most important 2 words in the world to hear a person say is "that's right." Because when they say "that's right," they mean that what you're saying is right, not you, but what you're saying. Because people tell you what you right, but sometimes we say that to people just to get them to shut up because they talk too much. Because I did it before, plenty of times. Somebody be talking, I'd be like, man, they're making my head hurt. So first thing I do is agree with them, so I can get them to be quiet. Be like, yeah, you're right, dog. You're right, man. You right. You so right about it. You're so right.
Preach, preacher.
Preach. Really trying to hope they exhaust themselves so they can stop it. I'm like, man, you wearing me out. But when a person is, when what they're saying is right, that's different. So he's talking about how he had this guy whose son played linebacker. He started out playing on the line. They pushed him to the linebacker. Now he's talking about his own son, Chris. Yeah, he's talking about his own son. It's a good book too. Never Split the Difference. Really good book. So he says, so he's talking to his son. And he says, son playing linebacker. So he said, okay, son, y'all, you know, it's a champion. Y'all can run the gamut here and be state champions. All right. You need to tackle as many people as you can. He said, but his son was having a problem. He had just came off the offensive line. So every time a blocker came out, he would run into the blocker. You know, and hitting them, knocking the snot out of him. So they was like, hey son, you got a tackle to do with the ball. He said, yeah, you're right. He said, you got a tackle to do with the ball, man. He said, yeah, you're right. So he kept doing the same thing though. He kept telling him, you're right. But then as soon as the blocker come out again, he get that look in his eye. And he running at the blocker. He all messed up. He all got his priorities all jacked up. So finally, Chris said, you know what? I got to get this cat to realize the mistake he making. I got to get him to realize that what? Get him to say you right. That mean that's right. So what Chris did, he said, listen, it seems like you love to hit people. He's like, yeah, Dad. He said, and you came off the line, offensive line, right? He said, yeah, Dad. He said, on the offensive line, you was always hitting the tacklers, right? Y'all was always in hand-to-hand combat, right? That's right, Dad. He said, so it seems like you just love to have contact, don't you? He said, sure is, Dad. He said, but so it sounds to me like you don't want to win too many games because you're going to have a whole lot of contact with the blockers, but you ain't going to never get to the guy carrying the ball.
Ball carrier.
Oh, he said, oh, man. That's right, Dad.
That's right, Dad.
He said, oh, I'm supposed to shed the blocker to get to the guy with the ball.
Let me, as
we right here, saying we one quarter right now.
Right. I told you to tell I had a lineman. This dude ended up being an NAIA All-American in Division I football in NAIA. But he used to always get in these struggles with the offensive line. And I used to tell him, I say, Donald, this ain't personal.
Right.
But the thing was, I said, what's the most important object of this game? That ball. I said, everything else is an obstacle. Show me the money. Get to the money. Get the bag. The ball is the bag. I said, if you get to that ball, they will come. The scouts, the recruiters, and everything else. All Americans, all the fame and fortune. So I told him.
Plenty of printed paper with pertinent presidents on it?
I said, so everything, the quicker you can get rid of this dude, I say, because if you ever get here and get in this guy's eyes, you done lost focus on what's important.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
See, no love of that.
It's never personal.
You love it to do?
It's never personal. Right. Getting your money, even with your family and friends, it's never personal.
Ain't personal, player.
It can't be, because the person in front of the money is always going to keep you negated from your purpose.
You got your focus on the wrong thing, man.
Man, come on, bro.
Come on, laid back. With my mind on my money and my money on my money. So, no, but you got a good point. And once that guy, once he understood that, they ran the gamut and won the state championship.
That's awesome.
And I'm sure Donald, I'm sure once you got through talking to him. But that's the beauty of what? Coaching. That's the beauty of what? Receiving coaching. Because what's the point of having a coach that you don't even receive? I mean, it's just like he ain't got one. It's just like he just sitting over there for no reason. He got all this wonderful knowledge in his head and can help, sure enough help you win the Heisman. Like you said, all the beautiful things, all the accolades that come along with being a superb, elite athlete. Coachable. So when we be coaching people in the money game, in a financial game, and in a wealth game, I'm amazed at people who sometimes, you be coaching them and they be trying to coach you. And I'm like, that makes no sense.
Man.
And now you're going to suffer the consequences. Why? Because the man told you how to do it, or the woman told you what to do. So just do what they told you to do. that what you're currently doing don't work. You ain't got no Heisman Trophy now.
Mm.
You know, you're the 15th man over there on the bench. You right next to the water boy. You dig? Barely got a scholarship.
Now you tackling. You playing guard and tackle. You guarding the water and tackling anybody that try to get it.
Guard the
You
water.
know?
Guard and tackle. You ever seen a movie with Adam Sandler, Waterboy?
Waterboy.
I ain't never seen the movie, but I just remember the name of it, Waterboy. Yeah, you don't want to be no water. That's going to end up being a water boy. And the beautiful thing about learning is it takes you and it puts you into your comfort zone. See, I be hearing people say this, Ray. Hey, man, Brother Rick, I want to thank you for helping me get out of my comfort zone. I say, but you wasn't comfortable when we met.
Mm.
All right? Stop saying words that are so not real. Because then you're gonna live a fake life.
Oxymoron.
Yeah, you got me out of my comfort zone. I say, you in your comfort zone now. Now that we traveling around the country, around the world together now. Now that you're getting back these big fat checks. Now that you're able to do, what you want to do. Now that you can see your kids when you get ready, Now that you ain't got to work all day, all night, just to get your hand on a couple of wooden nickels. Now you starting to get comfortable. So I wasn't comfortable when I had $50 in a hotel, man. They say, Ricky, you was comfortable. No. I was just content. I mean, meaning I was grateful that I had any kind of room and and $50 and grateful to have a bike, and I was grateful. But I wasn't comfortable with that. I was like, man, this is going to get better. This is going to get better. I don't think people get it, Ray.
They don't.
Yeah, I don't think they get it. I think they're just saying the wrong word, But it's more like just being used to something, I'm just used to this and I'm just used to that. But that's what coaches do. Coaches come along and they get you unused to what you was used to. Because when you're used to something, then you abuse to something. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
I'll be rapping too, like you be doing, Ray. You know, rapping all like you.
Because where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable.
Come on, man. Come on. And how you gonna know the purpose of something when you ain't been coached?
Man.
I know that people thinking, what's this, Brother Rick? Y'all doing some kind of commercial for a coach? No, because we turn down more people than we meet. Why? Because we already know. I'll be like, I can look at that head right there, boy. You see? All coaches, we have the penny test. All coaches. All right? We throw a penny at everybody's head we meet. All right? And if that head's so hard it bend a penny,
Yes, sir.
we like, we will not be having a conversation with you, buddy, with you, my brother. You and my sister. Why? Penny for your thoughts.
Man.
Penny for your thoughts. Hit him in the head with a penny. That's how you test them. Penny test. Take the penny test.
And in football, the first thing that I had to teach my guys once I understood it was not how strong you are, not how great your hands are, but football is a humbling sport. And when I say that, I'm not talking about, humbling yourself as it relates to it's played low. It's especially at the line of scrimmage. Tall man has no power. The prideful man that won't be coached, he'll never have a successful outcome because in your upright position, there is no power.
Right.
But the lower you get, the more explosion you have.
Yeah.
Because, the first thing that I did was make my guys become comfortable being uncomfortable.
Come on. Now.
And so, because the thing is, linemen have to be like this all the time.
Yeah, ready to pounce.
But the thing is, that's the most uncomfortable position in football.
It's just like getting on your knees to pray.
Because it fatigues the legs. It fatigues your
knees.
Your knees. And what happens is, you're so ready to jump out of it. That's why you get most offside penalties.
Right.
Because you so focused on the pain and the uncomfortability.
You preaching that. Offside.
You jumping off sides because you can't hear anything but your body screaming at your need or your necessity to get out of that pain.
You better teach.
Screaming at you.
You better teach. So what you sound like what you're saying, is the devil like Aaron Rodgers? Because Aaron Rodgers real good when he be like, "Hut 2 3 4, 38 10."
Right. Right.
And if you one of them cats who ain't used to being in no croucher position, boy, he'll march you down the field 20 times to get a touchdown without even hiking the ball, huh?
You jumping off sides because everything about it is I'm trying to get out of this. What did you say? This uncomfortable.
Well, you're used to zone.
You're used to zone.
What you used to.
Exactly.
Right?
And what I had to teach them was.
But what you saying? So it sounds like what you're saying is they used to zone was that they was used to standing straight up.
Straight up, and ain't no progress in
because
pride.
Ain't no humility in it, right?
It's none. None.
Pride go before destruction, and what?
That's it. And a haughty
spirit
look
before a fall. Yeah. So you got this tight butt cheek, walnut cracking tight butt cheek, self-righteous mod who like to be out, upright, but they're not upright.
Right.
Because the way to get up is to what? Go low, right?
Man.
Go low. You remember my pastor Bland? He was in the service, and I love how he used to describe being in the service. Man, he said they be crawling on their knees, right? They be low. Got the thing, the black stuff on their eyes and all this sort of thing, trying to look like the grass and all that. He said a couple of them bullets will whistle over their head. He said, guess what? Guess what they found out? They can get a little bit lower.
Come on now. Head in the dirt.
It's time to eat the dirt, baby.
Man, because that teaches you to be humble.
Yeah.
See, the guys that I played were the guys not necessarily the most talented, but the most disciplined.
Come on.
The
ones who was eating the dirt.
Man, come on, man.
Eat that dirt, baby.
Because that dirt will keep you alive.
Come on.
The closer you get to the ground or your foundation is, the more you can grow.
Come on. That's
what I'm saying? Because I tell people, I said,
Coach.
Only position, even on the line of scrimmage, at receiver, even at quarterback, where does he start off at?
Yeah, in a crouch position.
In a humble position, because without that ball, he can't do nothing. The only time is when he's off that center that he can stand up.
Shotgun.
Because he's elevated himself to be able to get that ball from the shotgun.
Yes, sir.
So he can survey every obstacle around him.
And he had to earn that trust.
That's from the coach.
From the coach, right?
You know
and
what I'm saying?
And from the hiker.
And from the hiker.
Right. So, and you know what? And the hiker had to earn the trust.
Right.
To make sure he can get that ball back to him. Throw it right into his hands so he ain't got to spend 10 minutes trying to get the doggone ball. Man, you preaching, man.
Man, we preaching, bro.
You a coach, man. You a coach.
You a coach.
Yeah.
You're a coach. Like birds of a feather. What did it say?
You flock together. Yes, we do. Oh, yes, we do. Yeah.
Well, service is a dead art, bro.
Come on, man.
See, because Jesus said, the greatest among you is the one that serves you all.
Come on.
And if you can't serve your brother in excellence, you'll never receive the servant's pay. You know what I'm saying? Because the servant is exalted and esteemed higher than the ones that they serve.
Wow, say that again, Ray.
A servant is esteemed, especially in the kingdom, is esteemed higher than the ones that they serve. Is preferred over the served, not the servant.
Yeah, servant is God holds him in higher esteem.
Man, and he's going to reward your servitude.
And that's what matters, huh? Man. Ain't it amazing how we have a tendency as humans to want to be held in high esteem by people and low esteem by God. Isn't that amazing?
Man.
I don't think, what do you think about this? You think a person actually realizes that the more you kiss up to people, the smaller you look to God? Do you think people realize that?
Man. Because we have our affections out of order, brother. He said, let your affections be
no things above.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when what's above us, that's the most purposeful. God.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So when we misplace our affections, we do not only misplace our purpose or our blessings, we misplace our servitude, because God is the rewarder of service. Jesus, look at Jesus. Jesus said, I didn't come to be served. I came to serve.
Yes, he did. He sure said it, and he sure did it too.
And the ultimate service.
And look at him now.
Man, now forever.
On the what? The right hand.
You know what I'm saying? I tell people,
He ain't on his left hand.
Jesus' purpose wasn't.
He ain't on his left hand.
Let me say this, brother, because this, in the King's Cover, God gave me this revelation. He said, the Holy Spirit said, Jesus' purpose wasn't Calvary. That was a process. Because if it would have been the cross, and people get that misunderstood because it says, he who dies on the cross is cursed. But if that was the ultimate goal, and we wearing these crosses, then look at how many people died on the cross in that area.
Come on.
You know, so it couldn't have been the cross because it would have made Jesus common.
Right. Because he wouldn't have been the first one.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And he the first one to do what though? Come up.
Well, no, he wasn't.
No, I'm talking to raise himself up.
Oh, well, God raised him.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
You know, but like I say, but check this out. He wasn't even the first to be resurrected.
Okay, give it to me.
So, in that, Lazarus
give me first.
and all these people. So, check this out.
Give me first.
Jesus' whole purpose was.
No, wait a minute.
And this is what.
Wait. Give me the first to be raised first, because you got me going.
Well, Lazarus was raised from
That don't count. He raised him.
No, who?
Jesus raised him.
Who was Jesus? God in the flesh.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
when the Bible calls say the first fruit of the resurrected from the dead, talking about Jesus.
Yeah.
He first fruit.
Yeah.
You got some more fruit for the first fruit?
Well, no, let me say this. Okay. So now, Jesus' whole purpose was, it says, Jesus ever liveth to make intercession on
for the saints.
Service.
Yeah. Service, right?
Intercession. And you interceding, I'm going in your place. I'm serving you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Jesus is at the right hand of the Father. He said, I want to smile. No. Look what I did. I got these hands. All he do is stretch them out and say, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
And he volunteers.
And man, come on.
Service got to be voluntary.
Voluntary.
Can't be no forced service.
Man.
Then it ain't service.
It ain't service.
It's going through the motion.
Man, preach, bro.
Going through the motion. It's just emotions that's taking me over. I'm listening.
What was my man say on a cartoon? He say, blah, 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 blah. What did he say? Him say, we make big whoopie doopie. You know what I'm saying? But the thing you got to realize is, people don't understand the talk of the servant. They don't understand the speech of servitude. It ain't never about I. It's about you.
Always me reaching out to you. And I was just looking at a word called naked authority in the Black's Law Dictionary. In fact, I was talking about it a little earlier today on the live we was doing. And it was talking about how it's the kind of authority. It's like pragmatic love, like you was teaching in your book. And you got a good book. Everybody sleep on your book, The King's Cupboard. Everybody should get that. That's all y'all listening now should get Ray's book, The King's Cupboard. Cold. Your book is amazing, man. And you got a workbook to go along with that book. Man, your book's so good until when I be doing my work with your book, I be lying, writing down stuff that ain't even true. Because the truth hurt too bad.
Yeah.
Then I have to go back and repent. I'm like, your book is that good until ain't nobody in the room. I'll be lying. The only person I'll be lying to is me, because I'm the one writing the answers in the book. I'm like, nah, that ain't me right there. I'm glad he missed me on that one. And I'll be like, that is you. He talking exactly to you. I ain't never had a book that has so much personal accountability in it in my life. I'm like, man, this dude is all up in my business, man. I'm telling you right now, The King's Cupboard. Cold book. Y'all ought to get that. The King's Cupboard is a cold book by L. Ray Tasker. That's right, L. Ray Tasker. My main brother right here. He's a genius. King's Cupboard. Yep, you had me sweating on that. I was sweating like I was getting 30 years. And all I was doing was just reading the book and just filling out the workbook. I was like, this ain't no fun. It's not fun, man. I want to be like motivated, charged up, and excited about doing this. Every time I got ready to walk in the room, I was like, man, I feel like I'm walking a plank. Right? You blame me, sailors. I felt like I was walking a plank, boy. But that was good though, because it's very challenging, and that's what we need to be, especially men. We need to be challenged, y'all. Especially fellas. Need to be challenged, man. You don't need no little sissy stuff. You need some stuff that's gonna check you, so that we can be full. You know, every man needs direction. Every human needs direction, but men need it twice as much because we got to direct the families. So we need twice as much direction as everybody else in the family. I mean, we need to be decisive. So if we're gonna be decisive, that means that we need to get the kind of training that does what? Sends us in one direction and fast. You know, because life is like money. It requires speed. You know, it's the velocity of money that makes you wealthy. Because having some money that takes too long to get is equivalent to not having no money. Because by the time, if it's slow money, it really ain't no money. Because it ain't enough to leave to nobody, because you're gonna be up out of here. So that's why we have to take instructions and take them fast. Why? Because we can't afford to be just sitting around here dumb and slow. And take it forever to get something done. We got to be decisive. So you got a very good book and a good workbook, because when you're doing it, it just straight up tell you what you ought to do. And here you, I mean, you know, make you look inside yourself, and it'll make you lie a little bit first. I ain't gonna lie, I lied a little bit first. Now I start going back in and I start writing real answers. Like anybody. You know, it's a good book when you're lying to yourself, all right? And I'm a pretty strict dude. Thought I was, at least. All right. And that's a good book, Ray. So that's why we need to be knee deep in His Word, reading His Word. That's why His Word, that we hid away in our heart, that we might not sin against Him. And that's why we love the Bible. The Bible's beautiful, boy. Clean that mind up. Who in their right mind to get up in the morning and don't wash up? You know what I'm saying? Do you want to get funky with me? Do you want to? We gotta, every day we got. It's the devil. Idle mind is a playground for the devil. Do you want to get funky? I don't want to get funky with you. I'm gonna wash up. I'm gonna wash up in the morning. I'm gonna take me some word. I'm gonna wash myself up. You know, Brother Ray. That's why I love being around you, because you're a clean man. You wash yourself in the word, and we help each other out.
Man.
We brothers together.
Glory be to God. To God be the glory for the things He's done, because I didn't get to this understanding myself. It's by true divine inspiration and activation. But you know, it starts with activation. One thing I can say is
Jerry curl, activation like that. Huh?
Give me some of that yellow and red bottle. I need.
You know, and I play. You remember how to do it. I don't know. You didn't come to our Indiana play, but when we do the Jerry curl thing, the guy he gets the my Uncle Laban, you know. The play.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So he grabs the bottle, and they did this to me. I didn't know they did this. They had practiced this in practice, and I didn't know. So they said, I said, oh, you got a hair salon, huh? He said, yeah. I said, oh, probably did your own hair, huh? He like, you know, I don't want to brag on his skills. I make you do what to do, baby. I said, okay. He said, matter of fact, you know, what you got to do is you got to learn how to, and then he grabs the activation spray, sprays it up into the air, and walks up under it. You got to learn how to step into it, baby.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Man, I laughed so hard. I said, because I wasn't expecting it, because they hadn't practiced it. Man, I laughed so hard. And there's a little kid on the front row. He's like, "You funny, mister?" I'm like, "No, they funny." These guys, that was hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Step into it. You got to step into the activation. But you're right, though. When it comes down to doing stuff, it don't mean nothing if you don't do it.
Man.
Can't watch the TV till you turn it on. Can't use a phone till you turn it on. Can't use a lamp until you turn it on.
This gentleman wrote a play, people, and it was amazing. I was like, I was in awe of, you know, he talks about I'm gifted and talented, but he's a gifted and talented playwright as well. He's and when I say as well, I'm saying as well as a coach, as well as instrumentalist of teaching people wealth. His plays, he can take a scripture or a Bible chapter or a Bible book and literally turn it into something that will change your life. Because you're like, man, I never looked at it like that. Well, most of us don't. It takes internal eyes to see what God wants us to see and be. And I'm honored to know this man of God. I'm honored to know him and love him as a brother. And that's y'all, baby.